Today, we're diving into something truly incredible, a 14th century masterpiece called Madarij al-Salikin, which translates to the ranks of the Wayfarers. It was written by the scholar Ibn Qayyim al-Jawziyya, and you can think of it as basically a detailed ancient map for the journey of the human soul.
So, think about that for a second. This is the big idea the whole book is built on. It completely reframes our inner life. It's not just a mess of random thoughts and feelings. No, it's a purposeful path, a real journey with a destination. So, the question is, where does a journey like that even begin?
Well, according to this map, the journey starts in one place, and one place only, the heart. And no, we're not talking about the physical organ beating in your chest. We're talking about the very center of your being, the seat of your consciousness, your awareness, and your deepest, truest intentions.
Now this is the key idea right here, movement. The heart is never just sitting still. It's constantly in motion, it's always traveling. The real question is it traveling towards its ultimate purpose, or is it getting lost and tangled up along the way?
And here, we get a glimpse of the destination. See, the goal isn't some abstract idea. It's described as a state of profound joy and connection, what the author calls an early taste of his garden. Like a little piece of paradise right here, right now.
But okay, let's be real. Like any journey, this path is full of potential roadblocks. So before you can really start moving forward, you have to know what's trying to hold you back. You gotta know where the potholes are.
And Ibn Qayyim, he doesn't mess around. He is very, very specific about what these obstacles are. He lays out 5 key things he calls corruptors, things that can completely derail the heart's progress.
Now, I know some of these might sound a little old-fashioned, right? But just think about how they show up today. Excessive mingling could totally be endless social media scrolling. Endless desires? That sounds a lot like our 24/7 consumer culture. These are timeless obstacles, just wearing modern clothes.
And just listen to how serious this is. These things don't just slow you down. He says they put out its light. They fundamentally blind you on your own journey. It's like trying to find your way through a forest in pitch darkness. The stakes are, well, incredibly high.
Okay, so if those are the obstacles, what do we do about them? What are the tools we need to get through? The good news is, the map also comes with a toolkit. Ibn Qayyim outlines several key virtues, or stations, that every single traveler is going to need.
First up in the toolkit is a big one, sabr. Now, this usually gets translated as patience, but we're not talking about just passively waiting around for things to get better. As we're about to see, this is a much more active, much more dynamic quality.
You see, it really has 2 sides to the coin. There's the patience you need when dealing with stuff that's just outside of your control, but then there's this other kind, the patience to keep doing the right thing, day in and day out, even when it's hard or you're tired. It's like spiritual stamina, the grit you need for the long haul.
Next up, we have tawakkul. Again, the simple translation is trust, but it goes so much deeper than that. It's this profound, complete reliance on God, a deep-down recognition that, hey, you are not ultimately the one in control here.
And this quote just nails it. What does this look like in practice? It means telling your ego to take a back seat. You know that part of you that always wants to be in charge? It's about letting that go. It's a fundamental shift from relying on yourself to relying on God.
So, you've got your tools, you know the obstacles, but the path itself, well, it isn't a straight, flat road. It's going to take you through this complex inner landscape of all kinds of different emotional and spiritual states. And this is where the map gets really nuanced and how it talks about our emotions. It draws this super sharp line between 2 powerful states, grief or huzn, and on the other side, contentment, known as rida.
Now this is a fascinating, almost counterintuitive idea. The book argues that just sitting in grief for a long, long time, that's not a virtue. It's actually seen as counterproductive, as a tool that can be used to stop your journey dead in its tracks.
So, let's be clear. The goal isn't to become a robot who doesn't feel anything. Not at all. The idea is to cultivate this underlying state of deep contentment, this rida, so that you can meet whatever life throws at you with a sense of peace and tranquility.
And all of this brings us to the final, and you could argue, the most essential part of the entire journey. Because it's not just about the path you walk, it's about why you're walking it in the first place.
This central concept is called ikhlas, or sincerity. It is the act of purifying your intention, cleaning up your motives, until every single step you take on this path is for one reason and one reason only.
And wow, this quote really shows you just how sharp the razor's edge of sincerity is. You're basically avoiding two huge traps. On one side, you have the trap of not acting because you're worried about what people will think, and on the other, you have the trap of acting only so that people will see you. Sincerity is finding that perfect middle path.
I mean, how beautiful and profound is that? True sincerity is described as being so deep, so internal, that it's a secret known only to the heart and to God. It's completely beyond the reach of anyone else, it can't be corrupted, and it doesn't need praise.
And that's really the big takeaway, the ultimate point of the entire map. Every single part of this journey, the obstacles you have to clear, the tools you use, the emotional states you navigate, it all serves this one central purpose: to purify the reason you're on the journey in the first place. So you see, this ancient map isn't something you just look at once and then put away. It's a guide to come back to again and again throughout your life. And it leaves all of us with a really powerful question to think about. Where are you on your own path, and what is your next station?